renewed for the week ahead. I feel grateful. I feel like there are opportunities in front of me that if I open my eyes, I'm gonna be able to see them. I just yeah, I'm grateful for the week. I'm grateful for the day. Today is February 8th, 2026. This is our weekly outlook call. We're going to be going over a number of different things on this call. Always on our calls, our weekly outlook calls, I like to start on Forex Factory and just simply do a review for myself of the news that could be to come. Sunday, we actually have JPY lower house elections on Sunday. So that's happening now, potentially has been happening. So that brings us to look at the JPY, right? What's happening here with the JPYs? I'm curious because they've been having these elections. Have people been receiving them well? Maybe that's the reason that the past week the market was extremely volatile and it was like it felt uncertain. It felt like there was like we were stuck in a consolidating range and like we were just struggling over this entire past week, right? Maybe that's exactly the reason why. And I didn't even know that because I always, because I always do a review of the news. But when I review the news, I look for the week ahead. I don't be looking like 2 weeks out. You know what I'm saying? And in order to have known this, maybe I should have known that, but I didn't. So that's it. I would have had to have looked 2 weeks out, which I didn't. So I was looking to take sells in this market. I had some successful sells. I had one trade that I was extremely proud of myself on, just because there are certain things that I've been working on with myself. Just being able to swing trade and hold my trades for a longer period of time. There was a trade that I held from here to here to here to here to here, and finally got the entire breakdown on the trade. So I was very proud about that. Things for me to work on. I felt as though this was the confirmation and that on the pullback, I would be able to compound my position and that the market would continue to trade to the downside. That didn't happen, and I ended up taking a big ass loss on this position, and I ended up actually breaking even on this one. So that shit sucked, if I can say that honestly. But with that being said, um, I had to start asking myself the question. So that's just some transparency to start off the week. Just because we look back at the JPYs have been my focus, but I didn't know to focus on them on what time frame. I didn't know what time frames I was trading on. And apparently there were things that I needed to understand on a 2 week time frame that I was not paying attention to. As I look through my JPYs, I want to see like, is there anything that's happening in common? Is there anything that stands apart, right? In some of these situations, it would seem for like NZD JPY specifically, it would seem like these cells brought us back into our previous structure, right? These cells brought us back into our previous structure. Can you guys all identify that on your charts or on my screen that these cells took us back into our previous structure, right? Yep, yep. Two, yep, yep. Excellent. These cells brought us back into our previous structure. In my mind, I asked the question, is that the same thing that's true with all of the JPYs, right? These cells brought us back into our previous structure. We never made it out here, right? We kind of tested, but we created a lower high here, big retest, probably to target these lows. But these cells brought us back into our previous structure, right? These cells, huh, interesting. These cells have not yet brought us back into our previous structure. So it's possible to believe that there's a potential trade opportunity here and that, or maybe it has, I'm not convinced. I would like need a little bit more, but this would actually be like one of the good trade opportunities that I would find to say like, okay, cool. I would expect to see price trade away from here, and I would want it to stay below this previous high here, about 35 pips, and I would be looking to take this trade down to the low, right? That's a 1 to 4. This might be the best potential trade because it hasn't followed the same blueprint that everything else has, not as significantly. Everything else has trade exact Euro JPY either. It hasn't done it either. but I would expect to see these trades follow. I wouldn't take Euro JPY. It would cost me too much. The risk is too big for me. That's not the best trade for me, right? Just because I can't, I would probably have to risk more than my 35 pips. So that's how I count out trades. That's how I exclude trades. Maybe if it trades back to this block right here, then I can find my 30 pip trade. But in analyzing it and trying to see where's going to be my opportunity, because all of these trades are not my trade, right? I might just take one or two of these. Look at this. NZDJPY has traded back into the previous structure. AUDJPY is the one that is like, it's just kind of, I guess it has, but for some reason, this is what I would see as like the best sell opportunity. We can immediately take these lows. We can trade back into this previous imbalance, right? These are the possibilities that could happen. Easy flip. I would have to risk 35 pips at the worst case, 40 pips above this block here. Maybe I wait and I wait for price to pull back and I get in with a 30 pip risk, or whatever the case may be. And I expect for it to sell here. You guys know my focus has been CAD JPY personally, and I am intrigued by its current price structure, right? CAD JPY has traded back into our previous structure, right? It has traded. Ooh, all right, boo. You want to watch the charts too? Come on, you can watch. All right, my daughter just climbed in my lap. She's been watching the charts since she was born. You know what I'm saying? I hope that she takes the liking to it, just in the idea of her gaining these pattern recognition skills, because essentially that's what we're going to be focused on learning. We're going to be trying to recognize patterns. Get her a live account. You already know the vibes, bro. Some swing trades. Get her some CAD JPY, some swing trades. You know what I'm saying? Set and forget. Sounds like a plan to me. Think you got to be. I think you might be able to do it with a parent's authorization. You got to see how that works out. But yeah, I would expect for price to probably do what it's always done when it came to this point and to sell from here. It's done it in the past, one time, two times, three times. It's now made this big burst of energy, but you've quickly shown me that you don't got it in the bag like that. You feel me? Like the sell side is strong at this level. We've immediately traded back into our previous market structure. This was the risk point. This was the scary point. But if I look at this and I'm not looking so far back anymore, if I look all the way back here, which is just January, like I'm like, have we broken these lows? Did we create equal lows? Maybe price goes and it slams from here, right? And it slams to come and take these lows, and we can't create higher highs. What I want to see is how does price respond in basically this box right here, right? This box is going to be it for me. This is the most recent high lows, most recent highs. Price is traded in the middle. The middle maybe are like 50% to where we can say that that is also um, what would they say, like our equilibrium pricing, or what we might also say is fair value at the 50% mark, right? We may be able to kind of watch in this area here and see how price actually responds. um, my interest is as long as price stays above the lows here. This is actually an area to where I expected for us to retest, right? I had that already previously marked, and I want to see us maybe come back into this structure here, or this structure here, or this structure here, right? And from that point in time, I want this to be where price meets its limitations. So if price buys from here, then I know how I can get my risk management set, and I'm going to be looking at least minimum, or at worst 40 pips below the lows on the JPY basket. Obviously, how that translates to my currency pairs is whichever currency pair that I'm trading. I'm also just taking into consideration if this JPY basket confirms to the downside, then it's pretty likely that whatever currency that trades against the JPYs will be confirming to the upside just as well, and vice versa, right? I look at these things and I'm like, okay, AUD JPY has done all of that, and you're still sitting at your quarter level. Regardless of all of that movement and all of that motion, you're telling me that you're still testing right here below your quarter level like that? Like you're giving it like that? Wow. But Style, come on, mom. Go sit down. Go, 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 go. You can't do that. All right. So I'm looking at how the market responds in this area right here, right? What is the market gonna do? How is the market going to respond? We've got this order block right here. Do we trade back below here? And we just see the rejections come in from that point in time on Australian dollar JPY, right? Watch list, Euro NZD. My entry, premium. I'm gonna send it to you guys. I think I just showed you guys my CAD JPY entry. Wait till I showed you. I wish I would have got. I don't wish I would have got bigger on my Euro NZD because Euro NZD just like messed me up. So I'm kind of like I was being light with it, but in me being light with it, that's when you want to run off. So I'm gonna just chill and we'll find compound opportunities. But my Euro NZD position, one of them is one of them ones. NAS sell side continues, same thing. It's not coming back, yo. Sell side continues. It's going to take some force to turn this market around. So 1 to 3, right? Back in the structure. That might be where we start to see the pivots. I don't think so. I think it gets worse. I think it gets bad, guys. This could be an entry right here, y'all boys. Lord have mercy. We really need all of this. We're due for a correction. How big is that? Is that 20%? That's only 10%. Lord have mercy. 10% correction, bro. They could do that. They could pull that trigger. They could pull that trigger. That's not even, look at this gap down here. Lord have mercy. Jeez. Is that 20%? That'll probably be the farthest that we can go in one run. This will probably be the limit. I'm probably about to enter NAS cells. Oh, Lord. I ain't even lying. I'm probably about to do that right now. Oh, jeez. Something small, maybe. Lord. Watch. My trades have pulled back, though. Oh, jeez, Louise. I can't even. All right, let's see. It's cool. All right, easy money. Euro NZD looking like one of them ones. Like I should enter more, but I should just chill. But this looks like the confirmation. We just get this bullish engulfing candle coming out of that structure just as well, right? But I'm already in here. I'm up 30 pips already. But I think that this is like going to maybe stay above structure. If it stays above it, we should go higher. I might just wait until we break back above like this 973 area going for the next quarter. Um, I would have been able to build up some more equity to take another trade on that. 30 pips is good, but you're shaking my desk, miss. This girl's active tonight, yo. Lord, she's gonna crash though. Yeah. USD CHF. Um, I'm cautious. I think that we can get sell side into here, but we're in this kind of ugly like consolidation where we're just kind of like trading in here. And we don't really have like if it breaks this low, like this low or this low or like this block right here, then I would be curious to see my area to look for buys. Blue area, this one. Yes, I like that a lot. I do like that. Feel like I looked at that last week. Sells, buys, but
That-
we're just
That's
we're
why I put my TP right there. I'm looking. I think we could have a big buy there or send here, but
yeah.
from
No, I
from
like
the
that.
yeah, just
I would definitely.
overall, I'm gonna trade with the trend for right now until we fully get a
Here's the
nice
only
flat
thing. Yeah, this is the only reason as
bullish.
to why I would be cautious on that is just simply because of look at the structure of USD CAD. That could be
That one's
focused on
pretty good.
the CAD side sell, but it shows that on some basis of it, the USD has strength. We're about to come and test this previous high or this previous low, right? We're gonna test this here, and if we can trade above here, we've already been here once before, right here. And we came down, took the lows just as well and price is kind of sitting quiet right here. If we just quietly trade back above this area here, I would expect there to be some overall USD pressure that we would experience here, right? Is what I would see, especially if you get like a bullish engulfing candle here. I would start looking at the DXY to see if we were getting like bullish engulfing candles right here just as well. And if we started seeing that bullishness on the DXY, and on USD CAD, then it could just naturally pull USD CHF higher. And the thing is that I would say NZD should be selling because naturally my Euro NZD is what I'm expecting to buy. So if Euro NZD I'm expecting to buy, I'm gonna expect NZD USD to be selling. And I'm gonna try to find structures that either invalidate my belief or validate it further. And in the case of NZD USD, I see lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, kind of a you know head and shoulders pattern that creates an imbalance. We just traded back into that imbalanced area here, right? And in doing so, we created lower lows, lows, lower low. What if we look to target these lows right here? That would be a total of 70 pips just coming to the lows. And if that creates the new trend, then we have something much bigger. So that's why I would be cautious on the dollar because I haven't even actually finished looking through the news yet. We only got to Sunday, and that took me completely off target for the whole hour or 30 minutes. That's not bad. We went through everything already. But now to go back and look at the news, we got core retail sales on Tuesday. We have USD non-farm employment change on unemployment rates. Oh, they moved it. See, there was supposed. See, look, watch. They on them. They on the shenanigans. Watch they be on the shenanigans. I'm about to enter NZD USD sell side right now too. Honestly, that's what my chart says to do. I'm gonna just have to close out part of my CAD position. Oh no, how much equity do I have on here? Make sure I'm not messing with no limits. CAD JPY pullback. I expect the pullback. Can I enter NZD USD just as well? Yes, let's do this. So CAD JPY. I'm gonna take a partial on here. My daughter's starting to like music. and I could make a rhythm, and she just followed it, which was pretty cool. Yeah. Y'all just hear me on this on the thing sounding horrible. Thing is that kids don't even care how you sound. You could sound like a train wreck and they still gonna love your voice. It's a beautiful thing. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Blessing. Mhm. All right. Yep. GBP USD. I'm expecting sell side here just as well. I'm expecting sell side here just as well. I don't know what the market's true intention is at this point in time yet. It could just as easily fall from here, right? And maybe I took it with like a 30 pip stop loss, 25 pips, and I targeted the lows. That would give me a 1 to 3. Fair enough. That could happen. Price could also sweep these highs, maybe trade back into this previous structure here. And then I still take it with a 30 pip trade. If I was very confident that it was going to sell either here or there, then I would potentially just be waiting for the pullback and I wouldn't even, bother entering. I would just chill, and wait. Or maybe I enter a half a position here, and if it comes up here, I enter the rest of the position. However your risk management plan is. My risk management plan doesn't involve me holding a 75 pip stop loss though. So you have to take that into consideration. I don't do that. That's not me. I like 35 pips, and I say that because I've analyzed myself. I've taken my stuff and I've, even used AI to look at my trades and my best setups. And I try to do my best to fit within what I've identified about myself. But that's what we got for the week, you guys. We have non-farm is on Wednesday. That's the big news. GDP, unemployment claims. So we got GDP news on Thursday, and then we got CPI news on Friday. Lord have mercy, bro. Wow. NFP and CPI on the same week sounds ridiculous. I pray that we're in all the right positions right now and that I don't have to think about any of that for the rest of the week. I need to get into an NZD trade. Did I already do that? Yes, I did. Fantastic. I want to be sitting at the bottom. No, what am I saying? Sitting at the top or bottom for NZD. Let me see this NAS trade. That's the only thing that I'm like, I'm not the biggest NAS. I'm gonna close my NAS trade. That'll probably give me more margin too. I'm down $2. I'm gonna enter another NCD trade. I wish y'all could hear this. Watch this. Hold on. Let's see. Uh, da, 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 da. Yeah, so this is basically what I'm looking for at this point in time. I want to see if we're going to continue to trade within this range here. We kind of came in and we've created some equal lows, right? Maybe even call it like a slightly lower low, right? We've shown some buy side interest. 30-minute time frame for sure, a lower low. If this becomes a lower low, then all of the new highs to me are the pullbacks. Where do we possibly pull back to? Right in here, which just happens to align with that 30-minute fair value gap. Would you look at that? You know what I'm saying? Now we end up looking for price to trade back into structure here. So if I haven't entered the trade, then at this point in time, I am looking to maybe get my first positions here. And my stop loss above the highest high would be 30 pips. Falls in line with my rules. Great trade. Expectation that we come back and we target the lows and that we see price continue to fall from there. Right. If price were to break above here and continue, then in my mind, I would have just paid 30 pips to kind of um, confirm that the trend has truly changed. I would have to respect it at that point in time. If this market buys undoes all of this, if all this selling pressure becomes worth nothing and this market continues to trade above here, I would be willing to temporarily forfeit my current bias and state that it has been invalidated. This already hit my stop losses. This brought me back to life. Gave me a little, a little good energy to start the week, brought me back to life, put me up. And this was everything that I was looking for. So I made back my money and then I made some back, but I haven't closed out any of my trades yet. So that's been cut into. Still in big profits because I'm in all the way up here. Still in decent profits. However, it's like if price pulls back, am I closing my trade? I'm not closing my trade because I got in up here. Um, this is probably where I may start considering going break even. I haven't done that yet. That would be my next move. Definitely don't want to let winners turn into losers. But sometimes you also don't want to suffocate your trades because you're so eager to like protect yourself. I already did my risk to reward. I know what it is, and I took a partial profit already. So I can it's all good, right? So this is the move that we had. That move in total has been about 90 pips. That is fantastic. If price were to pull back 60 pips, it would bring us to about the 61.8 to test the 115 quarter level, the negative 25 to test, right above that area there. And from that point in time, we may have we can make our decisions as to what we're doing. Because my original trade is up here, at this point in time, what I do is I look at my current equity, look at my current balance, see if I can go risk free and if it's worth it for me to add to my position here. The fact that we created a lower low on the 30 minutes and the 15-minute makes me curious. The fact that it's kind of an equal low, I mean, I guess it is a lower low on even the 1 hour. Um, but this is a big long wick just as well. A big yeah, there's some buy side that's pulled into here, but this next candle isn't really showing me anything too concerning. We're respecting these as the highs now. So this trade is what's coming into fact right now. The same one that was previously taken. Um, lows, lows. We can take the lows. Yeah, I'm chilling. We'll see. We'll see. JPY basket. I'm gonna for sure be watching this. I want to start to see where we close. I want to see what time frames are important to me, right? I like making decisions at the end of the time frame. So the 1 hour closes in 45 minutes. The 4 hour, this is the fresh 4 hour candle. So I could come back in the next 4 hours, maybe before I go to sleep, see where the market's trading at. We already swept last week's lows, and now we're trading back into previous market structure. That's a pretty good sign for a buy side, to create a case. that we could go to the buy side. We wouldn't want price to trade back below these lows. We still are concerned here. We're not in the clear yet. That's the thing to be to understand, because we created this bullish engulfing candle, but we haven't really taken out any significant highs, not yet, right? So we're not in the clear yet. We're not going to be completely relaxed or comfortable. We're creating some fair value gaps on different in between time frames. I like to watch time frames that most people don't look at. They like the 1 hour time frame. I do a full analysis from the 1 hour to the 2 hour to the 4 hour to the 8 hour to the 12 hours sometimes. Not always, but if I don't have a clear perspective, I try to look at it differently. Sometimes I've been getting used to, sometimes you got to flip the script. You got to trick your brain. That just shocked some of y'all. I know there's somebody on the call who's their whole brain just got a reset. You just got like, yo, what? You don't even know what just happened. Somebody, and it's only five of us, but somebody felt like, yo, what the heck? But when I'm not figuring it out, I try to look at it differently. I try to get a different perspective. Um, you know, Sometimes I go dark mode. Y'all seen I sent in some dark mode trades. That last Euro NZD was a dark mode trade. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta show y'all because that's some real shit. You'd be like, yeah, you went dark mode on that one. Y'all might say that going forward, but look at this. Look at this. Watch. So when you really gotta get in that mode, watch. That Euro NZD, that bust from the bottom. That was a dark mode. You know what I'm saying? And look how Euro NZD ended up moving. It gave you all of that. Off of that, I went back to the light, but it gave you all of that compound position. Bomb. This is the same Euro NZD trade. This is the same Euro NZD trade. Look how this went. Sheesh. Another compound. Compound again. Y'all think we gonna go for it again? You said compound and it went like that, and then you said compound again. What happened? Compound. Markets up. Where do we go? The next quarter level, 30 pips above it. We've been crushing it, high key. We really just got to get this was the AUD JPY trade from last week. Look where we call this at. This is the original. Great chart for us to review. We're discussing it live now because we was calling it all the way up here above the 110, alerted to it by the same quarter level. You know what I'm saying? Now we break back into structure at the 109. And what we're looking at is we're looking at the 109 to break down to the 109.50. We already caught over 100 pip, I mean over 50 pips, like 60 pips, while our Euro NZD is running, and we're looking for that CAD JPY. Y'all want to know something crazy? Y'all want to know something crazy? I want y'all to go back and fact check me. Let me know if I'm lying or not. Test my shit for real, for real. I called the CAD JPY sells, this second sell at 114.45. That's when I'm like, yo, we closed below 114.45 and we might see that sell side. Go and check to see if the market ever broke below that level. It never did. It never did. It tested like 114.55, 114.5, and it literally just shot up to take out all of these highs. And now we're trading back into structure, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. That's why I like even documenting this trade. But we're continuing to watch our, AUD, JPY positions, right? And it's just melting. I probably sent out too many updates because I was excited that it was finally working. I'm like, yo, look at this. Look at this. Got JPY approaching sell trigger. A breakdown here sends us lower. That mug got to 4.8, and it was gone ever since then. I don't think it ever went below there. CAD JPY was just on the BS. AUD JPY was breaking down though. Sell JPY, you know what I'm saying? It just was not playing. Sell CAD JPYs, it just was not playing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you guys, we've been on top of everything. We have been at the forefront of all of these moves that have been taking place. We're going to continue to stay locked in and just build a strong team around us, of the people who are looking to take it to the next level, that are looking to grow together. Maybe people have different perspectives and they see the markets differently. I invite that. I allow that because I can always learn through that process just as well. I like bringing my people to the front because there's people who have the capability and they have a gift to give just as well. And they're willing to commit their time and their nights on the night of the Super Bowl, because this is something that they truly believe in and they truly love. And I have no problem sharing the stage with those people. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah. So yeah, with all that being said, been continuing to elevate my guy Oscar. Just give him space to share his perspectives. I don't know if you got anything that you're looking at now. That's kind of what I'm seeing right now for me across the board. I know that you had a perspective on USD CHF that I was kind of wary about just because of that. You could definitely share with us, you know, what you see in that. I could see, this USD falling over just as well, right? I could see that happening and it being like maybe we retest here and we fall, and as the USD falls, it brings USD CHF lower because I definitely see this level here, and it's something that I would definitely be buying off of 1,000%. But what do you think, bro? What have you been looking at for the week so far? I know you had your USD CHF that you were looking at. I like this because it would confuse a lot of people. Hit the
Yeah,
lows, hit the
it's
highs.
still, yeah, I put it on low risk because of the potential of a Sunday reversal still. But right now, there was AJ buys. I kind of already missed it, but I'm not too sure. Yeah, I kind of missed it earlier. But I'm not sure yet because the other ones don't look like they're gonna follow. Same like you said, they broke down into structure.
Yeah, that's the
Got
only
AJ
thing.
that looks like cells, CAD that kind of looks like cells. Well, it kind of blew already through the cells, but still unsure. And then JP, the basket, the yen basket looks crazy too. Like it could be a fake out or it could just continue with the trend
Yeah. All right. So
back there.
we'll just monitor it this week. Me and you will discuss it before we send everything out. Make sure that we're not like trading against each other. That we can call, figure out some direction. For these JPYs this week, I definitely
Have
got eyes.
you? Yeah, I'm with that definitely. Just as well too, because I'm not trying to overtrade. I'm almost done with the challenge. Because I take low key. I just got in because I went half risk, so I put half in USD Chef and half in NZD USD. So I'm in both right now, just seeing whichever one wins. I'm regardless gonna make money. But um, what's it called? Have you looked at crypto at all?
No, I haven't. I think it's just time to buy crypto, bro. There's
That's what's been kind of sending me off. I know we've been moving
I
a
think
little
that we
bit.
could probably get lower on crypto. Actually, this
It
looks like
looks like it
prices.
hasn't even formed anything, but on the monthly and the weekly is where I'm just a little could
Yeah,
still take another month, it still could take another couple of days, but no.
yeah. I'm not. I'm chilling. I'm chilling. The thing is that you can dollar cost average. That's the thing about it right now. This is a good, I would say fair value pricing. If we said that the highest price that markets traded to was 125,000, we would say that this is a $55,000 discount. If we said that the lowest that the market will trade back to is 40,000, then we're $30,000 above that. If we thought about that in an overall structure, we would probably say that this is currently trading around like our 60%, 61.8, maybe 60% pullback of the overall move that we saw there. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. That's crazy that that's like actually exactly what it is. Look at that. Wow. Y'all see, I'm just saying it as we go through it, and this is just what my expectation would be, based on the ranges that we see here, and that would be the 61.8. So this would be a fantastic, opportunity to enter the market regardless, just because of the level of correction that we've seen from the top. If you're a believer in it long term, then you have to be able to hold it through the downside and add to your position. There's potential that price could come down as low as here. Like that would be insane. That would be a global reset because it would give everybody the opportunity to run to crypto, right? If the market were to pull back all the way to here. If you're selling crypto right now, you can be
I
potentially,
think, yeah, no, I think you're right about the buys because if it went lower, it would give way too many people the opportunity to buy. And you know how the economy works. It wants less people. The less the poverty people are in it, the better it is for them. So it's like it's hard to predict it,
yeah, I
especially
mean,
on it.
I just want to find the opportunities. I don't even want to, I don't even want to take the cynical, approach to it. And, there are those things to where, we may say that, but guess what? Right now, even people who are in poverty can put $100 in crypto and their $100 is likely to gain at least 50% from here. You know what I'm saying? We're down currently. This market is down on Bitcoin, is down over 50% from the highs. Like
Yep.
you're likely to put, if you just put $100 down right here, you're likely to make at least $50 on your bread at even that amount. There's absolutely the opportunity that price comes down here. And every single movement that price makes to the downside, it actually creates more opportunity, not less. So the thing about it is that this is the point to which everybody should be getting involved right now. And if the markets go lower, then they continue to make more money from here. The farthest that we could see possibly falling is another 60%. So let's say, for example, that we put $100 into the market and price pulled back that 60%, we got $40. That's cool. If it goes to the buy side, then we made the $50. That's cool. Like we have a 1-to-1 risk to reward trade. But if the markets continue to fall into this level here, and instead of just like closing the trade down here or whatever the case may be, I add to my position, then that's called dollar cost averaging. And it would average my position from 70,000. If I bought at 30,000, it would buy it to bring it to 50,000 and they would average me down. So we would just be able to add more to it if we believe in the market long term. And that's just kind of basically where it comes down to at this point in time. Euro NZD looks like it is hitting a little bit of a pivot here that I don't necessarily like. I think I was up 30 pips. I might be up 10 pips at this point in time. NZD USD is still testing this trend line. We haven't broken through it, yet. JPY has retraced about 50% of this move. We're still staying above this structure. My entries on CAD JPY are still untouched, still potential for price to trade back into the highs and to give us an additional sell from there. No matter what happens, there is always an opportunity for us. We have to just take our time, be wise, be intentional, and sometimes you got to take multiple shots. You don't always, it's not always going to be one shot, one kill. But how are we validating our trades and our ideas and our opportunities? Like, how are we validating these things? If we are validating these things in a way that, allows for us to have confidence in the market, like we're validating, okay, price swept the lows, traded back into structure.
Confirmation.
We have multiple confirmations. Okay, we have this
Yep.
position here. It hasn't broken down here. So As long as price trades within here, I could feel confident. If price starts to break down lower, then I know, okay, cool, maybe I was wrong. And you have to be willing to take the shot in order to see if you were right or wrong in this area here. Um, because if price pays out, if it does play out, then sometimes you have like a much bigger opportunity. People be like, yeah, you're trading from now until forever. I'll be like, not really, bro. This is only on the daily time frame to come back and trade above these previous highs. That's all I want. Mitigate this imbalance here on the daily. If we do that, you can continue to sell from here. But I believe that even this is like a 60%. Like this above here would probably be like we can go to the 50% above these highs of this overall move. And if that is the case, then I can see all of these things sell down into some of these lower levels here to mitigate these imbalances. That's my plan. That's what I want to do. So we're gonna try to stay locked in, continue to see if we can find these opportunities. If the market does invalidate it, then we're not gonna be stubborn. I'm not gonna be just ignorant. If the market is giving me clear signs. When I saw price spiked above for the entry, I was just at a point to which I could say, like, damn, you know what? Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I have to invalidate my belief. And I gotta look at this from a different perspective, which there's nothing wrong with that. That's a part of the process, you know what I'm saying? However, when it immediately shot back down into structure like this, that kind of makes me a little bit more curious to see how it finishes this process. I'm expecting maybe pullbacks into here at the worst case scenario. So if it does pull back here, I'm not going to get freaked out. I'll still be about 20, 15 pips in profit. Um, I might be able to get break even on at least one or two of my positions. And then I'm looking to find a position that I can hold for a longer period of time. So we'll see how it goes. Hope you guys all have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys on the next call. If this does break the lows, I do expect for price to continue. With that being said, actually, you guys have any questions? Look at AUDJ, look at JPY. Everything just is reversing majorly. But CAD JPY is playing to the plan. It's reversing majorly, but not really. It is a significant pullback, but it's still staying within structure and all of these things. CAD JPY is at the top of this structure right here.
I'm still waiting on USD Chef to kind of confirm. It'd probably be till New York session,
Yeah, I may have probably for New York.
unless
This
we break
one,
lows. But if I
this one
break,
here, Euro JPY is a little bit telling, just a little bit, just simply because this has not broken back in the structure. That's the only
yeah,
thing. That's the
AJ
conflict.
is the same way too that I've noticed is kind of going back in the. It's still like in buy territory, but it's still very weird because last week we were doing that same shit, bro. Like JPY pairs were buying, and then you had the USD pairs selling. It was just like all over the place. So there was no correlations kind of corresponding correctly,
Yeah, it's
and
gonna
nothing
act right
happened.
eventually. Everything has got to align eventually. So
Yep,
we
yep.
just have to pay attention, and we have to see when do
Be
they all
patient.
start doing the same thing? When do they all break above their current structure? GBP JPY for sure has not, right? We have our sell side here, for sure sell side here, right? Price has broken above, but we're still trading back into this previous imbalance zone. That is giving continued sell signs for GBP JPY. When I look at Euro JPY, this one has still broken below, right? We haven't made a higher high here yet. Um, but we haven't broken into this previous structure. So this one is still trading in the middle. We're in the middle of this imbalanced area here, right? And then we're above this structure. So there is, that is one of the things that we're seeing. NZD JPY trading properly within. All of these look pretty simple, pretty easy. CHF JPY is still trading above just as well. So what we want to do is we want to wait to see how, not even wait to see, I'm already in these trades to be honest, but we want to wait for additional confirmation to see how it responds off of these levels. If we break below, it's sell side. However, if it doesn't break below, then this is like the best possible entries that you could possibly probably find on this. Because we have our stop loss right below these lows, and then we have this market that's traded higher and is now pulling back. So we'll see. You guys know what I'm looking for, and I'll keep you guys updated in the group. Well, with that being said, you guys, I hope you guys all have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys up this week.
Yeah, bro.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Have a good day, bro.